For our next notes, we're going to write linear equations given 2 points. So we're going to get 2 points and we're going to write the linear equation. We're on page 419 in our notebook. And this is similar to what we did before, except now we need to figure out the slope. So we're going to be given 2 points. We are going to be given x1, y1, x2, y2. And if you remember, we used those 2 points. We've used 2 points before to find slope. And that slope formula we're going to write here is m equals, and you find the difference of the y points, right? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We did that earlier in this unit. And once you find that slope, you are going to go back to using your point slope formula, which we went over in the last set of notes. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So you are going to take this slope that you found and put in there, and then pick one of the points to then use the point slope formula. You have 2 points, you only need one to figure it out from the point slope formula once you find the slope. So let's go through these together. So first we're going to figure out m. That's the first thing we have to find. And we need to do, this is x1, y1, right? x2, y2. So I'm going to put them underneath each other, and then when I go to write my slope formula, I'm going to subtract y2 minus y1, so that's going to be minus 1 minus 7, and then x2 minus x1 on the bottom, so 1 minus, and this is negative 3. So now when I go to figure this out, negative 1 minus 7 is negative 8. Over here I end up with negative 1 kind of plus 3 because those two minuses become a plus, and I get 4, and then negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2. So now I have my m. So I need to pick a point now to use my point slope formula. So I'm going to pick negative 3 and 7. So I have m is negative 2, x1 is going to be negative 3, y1 is going to be 7. And I just took this all from this point right here, right? Figured out the slope, that's where that goes. I'm just going to use this point. So these three values are what I'm going to use to figure out my equation of my line. So I'm going to have y minus y1, that's 7, equals m, which is negative 2, times x minus x1, that's negative 3, right? So now my left side, I get to simplify and solve for y minus 7 equals, over here, this really is x plus 3 because it's subtract a negative. So I get minus 2x minus 6. I've got to get y by itself, so I've got to add 7 to both sides. So I get y is equal to negative 2x, and then I'm going to combine negative 6 and 7, and that's going to give me plus 1. So I took 2 points that they gave me and was able to come up with the equation of the line in slope-intercept form, right? That's our goal here. We want to get our final answers in slope-intercept form. So let's do the next one together. So first we find m. I'm going to stack these so it's easy for me to think about subtracting them. And I'm going to go minus 4 minus negative 7, do the y's on top. And then I'm going to do 3 minus negative 6. These turn out to be pluses because it's subtracting a negative. And when I get my slope, my top number is going to be negative 4 plus 7 is 3. And 3 plus 6 is 9. And I'm going to simplify that. They both have a common factor of 3, so 1 over 3. So there's my slope. I'm going to use this point as my x1, y1. So when I write out my point slope form, it's going to be y minus, my y1 point is minus 7, equals m, which is 1/3, times x minus, and my x is minus 6. And when I go to simplify, these become pluses, right? Subtracting a negative is a plus. So I got y plus 7 equals, I'm going to simplify over here with the distributive property, 1/3 x. And then what's 1/3 times 6? Well, it's 6 over 3 is 2, so plus 2. I still have some work to do because I gotta get y alone. I gotta subtract 7 from both sides, so I get, this becomes a 0, so I get y is equal to 1/3 x, and 2 and negative 7 gives me minus 5. We'll do another one together. So I need to find my slope, so I need to use these 2 points to do that. I'm just going to stack these, and then I'm going to subtract my y's, minus 6 and minus 1, subtract my x's, 4, minus 2, this becomes plus, so I get negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5. Ooh, I wrote a double equal sign, what's that about? I get negative 5, and then 4 minus 2 is 2, so my slope is just negative 5 over 2. I'm going to use this as my point, so I do my point slope formula, y equals, I'm sorry, not y equals, y minus, and then y1's negative 1 equals m, which is negative 5 over 2, I just figured that out, x minus, and the x1 is 2 from this point up here. Remember, that's where I'm getting these numbers. I'm getting this number from here, this number from here. Then I'm going to simplify over here. Minus a negative is a plus, so it's y plus 1 equals, and then I'm going to do the distributive property on the right, negative 5 over 2x, and then when I do negative 5 over 2 times negative 2, I end up with negative 5 times negative 2 is 10 on top, 2 times 1 is 2 on the bottom, 10 over 2 is 5, so it's a positive 5, so plus 5. And I did that wrong because it's supposed to be a 4. Oh no, actually I didn't do it wrong because if you look, I still need to subtract 1 from both sides. So y equals negative 5 halves x, and 5 minus 1 is 4. There's the 4. So that is the equation for that line. So you're going to do the rest. It's the same process each time. Find the slope, right? You're going to go and find the slope, and then you're going to use the slope to put it in the slope formula. Pick a point. I just kept picking the first point. You could pick the second point. You just have to pick one and use it. And then there are similar questions on the back of the page, all 2 points. You need to find the slope and then use the point slope formula to write it in slope intercept form.